mentioned in the book about your dad questioning you and you converted at a very young age.
Yeah.
Because he knew the implications. How did that relationship change over the years? I'm just very curious on that.
Yeah, it was a hard relationship. And I have to be honest and just confess that we didn't want to come home. I didn't want, I'm ashamed to say it, but I didn't really want to come home and do that. I wanted to stay in the Czech Republic. We felt called to overseas church planting. So my dad was an attorney, so a good arguer by trade. He was raised by atheists, only child. So really had a cold feeling toward matters of faith. So then when I surrendered my life to the Lord, as a 10-year-old, telling my dad, I want to get baptized, and him arguing with me over that, and going to the pastor and making a profession of faith as this, timid 10, 11-year-old girl. I look back on that now and I'm like, holy cow, I can't believe, that's what happened. But at the time, the Spirit was moving, the Spirit compelled me. And so, my relationship with my dad when it came to faith was one where we never saw eye to eye. And as we came back, he was definitely grateful. By the time we finally came home, I had been going back and forth from the mission field to my dad, back and forth, and that was unsustainable. So we made the decision to move. By the time we got here, his Alzheimer's and dementia was pretty progressed. And so he was for sure thankful for our ministry to him, but also not able to really comprehend, the various facets of that. And he did pass away outside of the Lord about 4 years ago. He died. So that was, obviously traumatic for me. I feel like I had been preparing for that, for 30 years, knowing since the time I was 9, 10, that if my dad dies without Jesus, it's going to be real bad. And so it was a grief that had been observed for 30 years, and it came to fruition 4 years ago. And obviously one I still carry with me. But the Lord was near to me and remains near to me, and really impressed upon me that he is the God of my salvation. Even if my dad did not experience that joy and that freedom, I was rescued out of a really worldly upbringing. Mm-hmm. The Lord saw fit to reach down and rescue this little girl who had no hope of any kind. And I'm humbled by that, and just grateful that I was rescued and redeemed, even though I was in a context that didn't make that likely.